Good morning to all. I am Mrs. A. Geeta, Assistant Professor, EC Department from SSM Institute of Engineering and Technology. Now we are going to see about the introduction of C programming from the subject EC 1893, Fundamentals of Data Structures in C. C is a general purpose structured programming language and it was developed by Dennis Ritchie in the year of 1972 at AT and Bell Laboratories. If we are going to write any program for C program means we have to know the structure of the C programming. This is the diagram for the C programming. This is the terms what we have to know: documentation section, preprocessor section, definition section, global declaration section, and then we are having main function. After main function, we have to include the open curly brace as well as closed curly brace. In between, we are having declaration part as well as executable part. Then we are having subprogramming section. This subprogramming section, we are having starting curly brace as well as ending curly brace. In between, we are having the body of the subprogram. Here we have to know that is in between we have used declaration part as well as declaration part. In this, each statement should end with a semicolon. Now we can see one by one. First one is the documentation section. In this, documentation section will start with the slash, that is backslash. Then we have to include asterisk symbol. Then it should end with the asterisk symbol and backslash. This is optional term only. In between, we can include name of the program as well as author of the program. Then preprocessor section. This is mandatory term. That is, if we want to write a program means first thing we have to include the header files called hash include stdio.h. Then hash include codeo.h. In the program, we are using any mathematical term means with these two terms we have to include hash include math.h. Then if you are going to use any string function means we have to include hash include string.h. Then definition section. This is also optional only. In this we can write hash define 810. If we have defined like this means in the program we can call a is equal to 10. Then global declaration section. Global declaration section is also a optional term only. After that we are having main function. Main function we are having, already I have said that main function we are having declaration part as well as executable part. Declaration part means in the program what are the terms we are going to use that should be included in the declaration part. Then we have to know what is meant by data type. Data type means what are the type of data we are going to include in the program. These are the types of data types. First one is the primary data type, second one is the user defined, and third one is the derived, and last one we are having empty. Under primary data type, we are having char, int, float, and double. Char stands for character, int stands for integer, float as well as double. Then under user defined, we are having the term title, and under derived data type, we are having array, pointer, structure, and union. Void means it returns nothing. Then for given input, we have to use the term scanf keyword. For printing output, we have to give the keyword printf. For compilation, we have to use the key term alt F9, and for run, we have to press Ctrl plus F9. Now we can see about a sample program for C programming. That now I am going to give just one information in between the printf statements. First thing, if you are going to write any program means, first thing is the documentation section. That is already I have said that it should be enclosed with this slash asterisk symbol. That is slash asterisk. I am going to give some sample. So sample asterisk slash. After that we have to include header files. That is hash include std io.h. Then hash include codeo.h. Now then I have written, after that we have to include main functions. That is void main. Already I have said void stands for it returns nothing. Void main. we have to give some information. For example, I have given welcome. It should be closed with the curly phrase and it should be end with the semicolon. So scanf statement as well as printf statement should end with the semicolon. Then we have to close the curly phrase. Then we have to save the program. Then Alt F9 is used for compiling the program. And at final we have to run means Control F9. If we run this program means in the run window we will have this statement. So now we shall see the program for addition of two numbers. For addition of two numbers, we need two variables for adding, and after adding two variables, it should be stored in the third variable. So I have taken the variable as A, B and C. As usual, we have to include the header files, that is include std io.h. Then second header file is the hash include conio.h. After including this header file, we have to start with the void main. After void main, we have to start with the curly brace. Then what are the variables we are going to use? That is int a, b, c. After declaring the variables, we have to include CLR, SCR. This term is optional only. That is, after that, we are giving printf statement. That is, within double quotes, we have to give enter the two numbers. So printf statement should be end with the semicolon. Then in this, we are having two variables as the input. So here I am taken A and B as the input and C as the output. So in this scanf statement, we have to give double %d. This %d is called as control string because we have declared the variable A, B and C in the integer format. So we have to include %d or %i. So here I have taken A, B as the input, so I have to use ampersand A and ampersand B. So scanf statement should also end with the semicolon. Then after getting the input, we have to calculate, that is C is equal to A plus B. Here we have added A and B. After adding this variable, this value will be stored in the C. So the value will be stored in the C variable. So we have to print this alone. So printf double quotes, we have to give C is equal to %d. We should close the double quotes. Then C. So this statement is also should end with the semicolon. Then at last we have to give ch. Then we have to close the curly brace. So again I will explain. We have to declare the variable in the integer format. So I have declared A, B, C. Then I have given scanf statement. The %d is used because here we have declared the variables in the integer format. After that we have to calculate this statement is called as executable format. So C is equal to A plus B. The answer will be stored in the C variable. So we have to print the C variable. Printf C is equal to %d, C. Then we have to compile this program. We are not having any errors means we have to run the program. In this we will get the output as first statement. It will print of enter the two variables. So in the output statement we will get enter the two number. So we can give any two values. So I am giving 5 and 4. After that, if this statement will be executed, at last it will calculate C is equal to value. So C is equal to 5 plus 4, 9. So finally we will get the answer as C is equal to 9. Then we can see the program for using if statement. So for that we can create as if leap year or not. So as usual we have to include the header files. STD, IO.h and STD code.h. After that we have to give void main. So in this leap year we have to check whether the year is leap year or not. So we have to declare any variable. So I am going to declare in integer n variable. After that we have to go clear the screen. Then in the printf statement within double quotes I am giving enter the year. Then in the scanf statement I am getting n. So we can include 1%d. Then I have to get n. Then we have to check whether the year is leap year or not. So we have to use the if statement. In this if statement, we have to give n percentage of d, percentage of 4, that is double equal to 0. Then we have to start with the curly brace. Leap year means the year should be divided by 4. If the remainder is 0 means we can say that year is leap year. So in the printf statement we can give leap year. Then we have to close the curly brace. We have to include else statement. Otherwise printf not a leap year. Then as usual we have to include xnh. Then we have to close the program. So if we run this program is that is I am going to give n value as 2000. So if we divide it by 4 means the remainder will be 0. So we can say this n is a, that is leap year, 2000 is a leap year. If you are giving 2001 means we will get some remainder. So we can say this is not a leap year. So now we see the program for sum of numbers. As usual we have to include the header files. So include std io.h and hash include std code.h. After that we have to give void main. Then we have to start with the curly brace. For sum of numbers we need n term as well as I as well as sum. So I am going to declare it in integer. So I am using the term in, then I, then n, and sum is equal to 0. Then I have to use clear the screen. CLR, SCR. First I have to get the n value. So I have to use printf within double quotes. I have to enter the n value. Then we have to get n as an input. So scanf within double quotes I have to use %d. Then I have to use ampersand n. So the scanf statement is also so to end with the semicolon. After that I am going to use the while function. So while function means while we have to use the keyword while. Then within parenthesis I have to give the condition. So I is less than or equal to n. For conditional statements we should not end with the semicolon. So it should not end with the semicolon. After entering the while function it should start with the curly brace. Then we have to give the term sum is equal to sum plus I. Then we have to include I plus plus. After that we have to give the printf. After adding these terms the answer will be stored in sum. So we have to print the sum. So within double quotes sum is equal to %d then sum. XCH, and finally we have to enclose the closed braces. Now I am going to explain the while condition unknown. That is, if n is declared as n is equal to 6, I am giving n is equal to 6. We have to see the condition. Here we have to declare I is equal to 1. So first thing I is equal to 1, then n minus equal to 6. So we have to see the condition. 1 is less than or equal to 6. So condition satisfied. So it comes with this statement. So here we have given sum is equal to, already have declared sum is equal to 0. So in the first condition 0, what is the value for I? I is equal to 1. So 0 plus 1 equal to 0. Sorry, 1. So first condition, the 1 will be stored in the sum. So in the current position sum is 1. After that I will be incremented to 2. Then we have to see the condition. 2 is less than or equal to 6. Condition satisfied. So already it is having the value 1. So sum is equal to 1 means 1 plus, what is the value for I? 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Likewise up to 6 the condition will become, and finally we will get some values. That is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. After adding this value, we will get sum is equal to some value. So this is a program for sum of numbers. Then we can see the program for finding the factorial of the given number. So I have included factorial of a given number. It is having the formula, that is fact is equal to fact star I. You can see f is equal to f star I, or factor is equal to factorial star I. As usual, include the header files std.io.h as well as std.co.th. Then while main. Then for finding factorial, here I am going to use the for loop. So I am going to declare it in n value, then I value, then I am declaring fact is equal to 1. Then we have to give CLR SR. As usual, we have to give the n value. So print of within double quotes n value. Then scanf. In scanf, we have to get n value percentage d, then ampersand n. Here I am going to use the for loop. So in for loop, first condition is we have to initialize the value. So I start with I is equal to 1. Then it should be separated with semicolon. Then I have to put the condition I is less than or equal to n. Then I plus plus. It is also a conditional statement. It should not end with the semicolon. After the conditional statement, we have to start with the curly brace. Then I have to use the formula fact is equal to fact star I. Now the answer is stored in the fact. So we have to print the fact statement. So double quotes factorial. Factorial is equal to percentage d, comma. The answer is stored in the fact. So I have to give the term fact. Then get ch. Have to close the term. Now we can see this section alone. For example, in the first statement, for example, I am going to find the factorial for 5. So n is equal to 5. Okay, ma? So we have to check the condition. For I is equal to 1, 1 is less than or equal to 5. I have given n values of the 5. So here 1 is less than or equal to 5. Condition satisfied. So it comes into this statement. Already I have given fact is equal to 1. So fact is equal to 1 means 1. What is the value for y? 1. So 1 into 1, 1. This value will be stored in the 1. In first condition, fact is equal to 1. Then increment. Then I is incremented to 2. So 2 is less than or equal to 5. Condition is satisfied. So here 2 already fact not equal to 5, condition is not satisfied. So that at finally the answer will be 120. So we can have, if we run this program means finally we will have factorial is equal to 120. So in the next class we can see the program for